The NVIDIA app, while still in beta, has had a big new update that allows you to easily overclock your GPU. If you're new to the NVIDIA app, this app is essentially NVIDIA's attempt at combining the NVIDIA control panel and the GeForce experience into one simple, elegant app. Until now, the app has been pretty bare bones and lacking of useful features, but NVIDIA is constantly adding important features with every update, like the one I will show you today. Welcome to TechSplash, and in this video, I will be showing you the NVIDIA app, take you through the new features, and explain how you can overclock your GPU using the app. Let's dive right in. If you already have the NVIDIA app, it may automatically update when you open the app. To open the NVIDIA app, just go to your Windows button and type in NVIDIA, and it should pop up just like so, and click on it. When you open it, it should look like this, and there should be a system tab right here. If you go to settings and about, it should say that you are version 10.0.1.265. If this was not the case, then I recommend that you follow the next steps and re-download the app. To download the app, you can go to your web browser. I'm using Arc, and you can just type in NVIDIA app download, and you can just click on the first link here, download NVIDIA app for gamers and creators, and you will see it's still in beta. You can just hit this button, download beta, and as you can see, it will start downloading. Once it has downloaded, you can go through the setup like so, hit agree and continue. When you open it, it should look like this with the system tab available. Now I will do a quick walkthrough of the app, but if you want to just get into the overclocking, feel free to skip ahead. There's timestamps in the description. Okay, as you can see, this is the home tab. It gives you all of your games, it lets you discover new things, new features, and yeah, it's just basically the home tab. Next, you can go to the drivers tab where you can update your drivers. It tells you information about the drivers. You can reinstall your drivers, and you can pick between game ready drivers and studio drivers if you are a video editor or something like that. But if you're gaming, stick with the game ready driver, and here you can update your driver every time a new driver comes out. Next, we have the graphics tab. Here you can go through all of your games and set up settings. You can auto optimize your games. However, I wouldn't recommend that because it might set some settings that you don't like, so I wouldn't recommend optimizing it here. But you can go through all of your games and set up the settings. Here you have your driver settings, which you would normally find in the NVIDIA control panel, which are kind of nice. Now you can go to global settings and set these settings up for every game. As you can see, these aren't all of the settings that you get in the NVIDIA control panel, so I believe NVIDIA still needs to add more, but this is what they have right now. Next, go to system. This just shows you all of your specs. As you can see, I have an RTX 2060, I have a Ryzen 5 3400G, and I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. You can access the NVIDIA control panel from down here. You can hit view rig details, and it'll give you even more information. As you can see, I have 6 gigabytes of VRAM. Then you can go over to performance, and this is where we will be doing the overclocking. I will get back to this. Now we have redeem. You can enter coupon codes, get rewards. I haven't used this. I don't know what the point of this is, but if you find some interest in this, go ahead and use it. And here you have the app settings. Now let's get into the overclocking. I'll show you benchmarks afterwards, but I would recommend to take your own benchmarks as well before you do the overclock. To get to the overclocking page, click on system, then go to the performance tab, and here you are. Now, first you're going to want to set up these sliders. I wouldn't recommend touching the voltage option just because I haven't been able to get it to work properly. If you'd like to undervolt your GPU, I would still recommend MSI Afterburner, which is the most common app for overclocking your graphics card. If you'd like a guide on that, let me know in the comments. For the power limit setting, this depends on your system. If you have a system with a great power supply and you have great cooling in your PC, then you can definitely crank this all the way up to 120%. That will give you the best performance hands down. However, in any other case, I would recommend setting this to a personal value. If you use a laptop or a very small form factor PC or a system with lackluster cooling, you will want to set this to 115, 110, 100, or even 90%. This stops your GPU from throttling due to overheating, so it will give you an overall better experience. You don't want your temperature going too high, or else you'll encounter FPS drops and stuttering, so set this value accordingly. Contradicting my last rule, you're going to want to set the temperature limit to the max. That's because if you set this to a lower value, the GPU will automatically slow down once it reaches that temperature, which is essentially throttling. For example, if you set this to 70 degrees all the way down, then as soon as the GPU reaches 70 degrees, it will slow down and drop the performance in your games, and you don't want that because that is essentially what GPU throttling is. You don't want that to happen. The previous setting, the power maximum, should be able to handle it. So keep the power limit under control, but push the temperature limit all the way up to the maximum. I would recommend keeping fan speed target percentage automatic. Once you have configured all of these settings, just go up and hit automatic tuning right here. As you can see, it's scanning for the best overclock, and just wait for this to finish. Okay, so I underestimated how long it would take, so you're gonna have to wait like 20 minutes or so. But as you can see, it spit out a number. For GPU tuning, it's plus 37, and for VRAM tuning, it's plus 200. The reason my GPU tuning is really low, I'm assuming it's because of my small form factor PC. Therefore, it can't go too high without overheating. When you're done with that, you can just close out of the NVIDIA app, just like so. Here are the benchmarks. As you can see, I did Firmark OpenGL testing as well as Heaven benchmark. Both tests improved to some degree. Again, however, I would like to remind you to take your own benchmarks. If your performance gets worse after the overclock, perhaps you set your power limit too low, or you may have a heat issue. While you run benchmarks and games, I suggest you keep an eye on the temperature of your GPU. You can find this in the Task Manager. If you right-click on the taskbar, you can hit Task Manager, and in the Task Manager, you can hit Performance, and then go down to your GPU, and down here, it'll show you your GPU temperature. You can also find it right here where we did the overclock. As you can see, it displays the GPU temperature. If your system tends to overheat, you can try lowering the power limit, but an even better solution would be to undervolt your GPU with a software like MSI Afterburner. If you guys want a tutorial on that, please let me know in the comments. While monitoring your temps, if you notice that the GPU doesn't go above 70 to 75 degrees, that's a sign that it has more legroom for higher performance. You can crank the power limit higher and even try a bigger overclock using a manual overclocking software like MSI Afterburner. And that's it. Hopefully this guide helped you guys. If it did, please leave a like and subscribe for more PC optimization videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.